Your character matters to Jesus. I want you to think a little bit about what is human nature and what makes a person. I've heard it said that you don't have a soul, you are soul. It is who you are. Now, God has given us a body, He's given us a mind, and we are a soul. But I think about these things that make up a person, and I think about how we were created with an identity in mind. What do I mean by that? You can have like certain actions in your life, certain habits in your life that give this facade like you really love Jesus because you do certain things. But on the inside, you are rotting away and you are not honoring God at all. So you can look like you're bearing fruit, but in reality, you have no real fruit because you have no true source of giving that fruit in your life. The opposite side of that is true as well. That if you get right on the inside, identity and character, then out of your life will flow good things that honor God. It's kind of like the same thing with salvation. You don't do good things to earn salvation. You gain salvation, and then you want to do those good things. I say this because we were talking about this idea at church, and I was teaching on this topic. It was fascinating because Jesus said it like this. He says, "You are the salt of the earth." And he's talking about followers of Christ, believers, those that are born again, that are part of God's family. You are the salt of the earth, but if it loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people hide a lamp or put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. Jesus doesn't tell us to be salty and bright. He tells us to be salt and to be light. And out of that comes being salty and being bright. Your character matters to Jesus. And in a world today that is all about identity politics, and transgender identity, and sexual identity, and job identity, that word is thrown around more than anything. And for the believer, we must have God's view of us. We must see ourselves as God sees us. About a year ago or so, I posted a video here on the channel of Fireside Chat, and it was entitled, "See Yourself as God Sees You." And at the time, I would just get a few views per Fireside Chat, and I don't even know, I haven't looked at it in a long time. It may be at 50,000 views now. Somehow, God took that message and just sent it out into the world, and thousands of people resonated with that. That we must see ourselves as God sees us, and He sees us when we're saved, not as sinners anymore, but as His beloved children, who He loves and has brought into His family and empowered to do His work here on earth. I think about that message, and I think about, what am I doing in my life? And I think about not what am I doing in my life, but who am I becoming in my life? God doesn't tell me to be salty and bright. He tells me to be salt and to be light. It's about identity, not about actions. Those actions will flow out of our identity. Who are you today? Are you going to find your identity in the things that happen to you today, in the things that you read or hear online today? Are you going to find your identity in anything underneath Jesus and who He's called you to be? Because Jesus has called you today to be salt, to be light. And out of that will flow the things that matter, the things that give flavor to life, that preserve the good things in life, that shines, that outshines the darkness around us. Will you be salt today? Will you be light to someone today? I pray that you will, in Jesus' name. God bless you.